Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something that trips a lot of people up. How do you go from simply knowing a story to writing a really powerful analytical essay about it? We're going to break it all down step by step. Let's get into it. So, does this sound familiar? You've read the book, you totally get the plot, you know the characters, but then you sit down to write and you're just staring at a blank page. It's that classic problem, right? You've all this knowledge, but you have no clue how to shape it into an actual essay. Well, we're going to transform that stuck feeling into a clear, confident plan. So here's the absolute key. We are not just retelling the story. Think of yourself as a kind of literary detective. We're breaking the work down into all its little pieces, character, setting, imagery, to understand how the author built it and, more importantly, why it has the effect that it does. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. A book report or descriptive essay is really just about what happened. A book review is all about your opinion. Did I like it? But a literary analysis, that's a whole different game. It asks how and why. It's all about investigating the writer's craftsmanship. And that shift in thinking is absolutely everything. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to move through this whole process piece by piece, starting with what literary analysis even is, all the way to crafting that perfect conclusion. Okay, let's dive right in. First up, what is literary analysis? Really, it all comes down to asking the right kind of questions. This right here, this should be your new mantra. Seriously, every time you read a passage, don't just ask what's happening. I want you to ask, how is the author making this happen? You're looking for the choices, the techniques, the hidden machinery that makes the whole story tick. Now, before you even think about writing that first sentence, the real work starts. This is the discovery phase. This is where you gather your clues and find the heart of your argument. So here's your detective's toolkit. Your investigation starts with these 4 simple but super powerful questions. Pay attention to your gut reactions. What moved you? What part just confused you? These aren't random thoughts. They're the entry points, the very seeds of a fantastic essay. And I gotta tell you, that point about patterns is huge. If you can spot a repeating image, or a word, or an idea, and you can figure out its significance, you've basically just found the core of your argument. That one pattern can become the guiding thread for your entire essay. And you know what? Every great analysis you write will follow this classic, powerful structure. Think of it like a blueprint. A simple descriptive essay might just fill up the body with what happened, but a true analytical essay uses the body to build a case for why it matters. It's simple, it's clear, and it works. Okay, let's talk about the introduction. A great intro is so important. It has to hook your reader right away and tell them exactly what you're analyzing and why they should care. Your introduction really has 2 main jobs. First, you have to clearly identify the work you're talking about. And second, you need to provide just enough context so your reader knows where your chosen passage fits into the bigger picture. Identification is the easy part, but getting the details right shows you know your stuff. Just state the author and title, and make sure you're using the correct formatting, underlining for longer works, like novels, and putting quotation marks around shorter pieces, like poems or short stories. All right, this is the main event. The body of your essay is where you present your evidence, connect all the dots, and really build your analytical case, paragraph by paragraph. Okay, listen, this is so important. Your job is not to retell the story in your own words. That's just a summary. Your job is to select specific quotes and details and then explain how they function and what effect they create. You have to analyze, not just summarize. What we're talking about here is close reading. It's like putting the text under a microscope. You're zooming in on individual word choices, sentence structure, and literary devices. The goal is to make insightful comments about the writer's craft and the specific effects they're trying to achieve. Feeling a bit overwhelmed? Just use this as a checklist. As you're looking at a passage, ask yourself these things. How does the point of view shape our understanding? What is the function of that image that keeps popping up? Why did the author use a dash there instead of a period? Every answer is another piece of your analytical puzzle. So you've built your case. Now it's time to bring it all home with a conclusion that summarizes your argument and leaves a lasting impression. A really great conclusion doesn't just repeat what you've already said.
Yeah, it should be brief and it should sum up your main points, but crucially, it has to answer the "so what" question. Explain why this small piece of the text is so important to understanding the entire work. That's the final punch.
So there you have it. You've got the mindset, the tools, and the blueprint. You know how to move from just reading a story to actually analyzing its craft. The next time you sit down with a text, you're not just a reader, you're a detective. So what hidden story will you uncover?